Okay, guys, it is Carlton Coach CO2 back with another show. We're going to head into episode 2. If you haven't had a chance to check out episode 1, I had a chance to talk with you guys about my background, why have I decided to get into um, teaching, coaching, and consulting pre I should say pre-law school students as well as 1Ls that are looking to increase their chances of doing well on their first year law school exams, which you guys know is super duper critical. Let me tell you how crazy your first year law school exams play in to your likelihood for success in your legal career. It's similar to the LSAT. That if you have a pretty strong LSAT score, you basically get into any school or law school. The same thing kind of applies to having your solid first year grades, because those first year grades play into your ability to be attractive for internships. Now, typically, when you get into an internship, you get your foot in the door and you do well, the firm naturally is probably going to invite you back for a second year and then eventually just hire you right out of law school. So imagine, depending on how well you do in your law school exams, can very well dictate how much money you potentially can make out of law school. So being able to get the edge and get the competitive edge on the tips and tricks and trades of how to take the exam, how to effectively study for the exam. And I say effectively very passionately, because we all study for the exam, but most of us are studying very inefficiently for the exam because we just don't know. Anyhow, episode 1 kind of covers that. So on today's show, what I want to do is I want to give some value in the areas of what I call three secrets that they do not tell you about in your first year of law school that could change and impact how you're able to prepare for your law school exams. All right, so just bear with me here. I got my whiteboard. Okay. All right, so let me just tell you what it is first, and then I'm gonna write it out. Secret number 1: you do not have to study day and night or be a good writer to pass and excel in your law school exams. Now, this one in particular is very key to me because, like I said in my first show, I was not really a great writer, and I wasn't really good at. I didn't really have a good like attention span to be able to like read, hours on end, because I just wasn't good at writing, and English was a subject that I really didn't enjoy, especially in high school and particularly in college. I mean, I did papers, but I didn't really like it. So, secret number 1. Let me see if I can write this out here. Okay. All right. You don't have to read excessively. I say excessively. Hopefully I spelled that right. R dash be a good writer to pass and excel in exams. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right. So this one secret is one of the biggest secrets to really uncover, because so many of us come into law school thinking that we have to have a certain writing style. We have to know how to be able to say big words. We have to know how to spell big words. And then also, on top of that, and that's just with writing an exam or writing papers. But on top of that, most of us, as we come into our first year of law school, the professors are piling so many briefs, not briefs. I'm sorry, so many cases, case law, in each subject, where at the beginning of the week you have so many cases that you have to read of tort, so many cases you have to read of contracts, so many cases you have to read of criminal law, and whatever other courses that they are in the first year, that most of us are just getting overwhelmed, but we're following the instructions of the professor. So the professor tells you what to study, right? Or tells you what to read, and like a good student, you want to be able to do that. But imagine you spend hours on end reading and rereading, and then on top of that, like most of you guys, you're probably briefing, and you're probably coming up with beautiful briefs on actually these cases that are, at best, some of them are eventful, but at worst, most of them are very, very boring. And it is something that just takes away, it truly takes away from your time to actually study for the exam. And I'll talk more about this in detail as we go into some more content. There's this one concept called the Karate Kid, and I talk about this in my book about Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid. I'm actually going to talk about that probably in another show. All right, so that's the first secret. So let me just erase that. Hopefully you got that. You don't have to read it excessively or be a good writer to be successful on your first year law school exams. Okay? Now, secret number two. Creating effective outlines is the key to gathering the information to pass and excel in your exams. Let me just make that really, really short. So that's secret number 2. Okay? Let's just call it effective outlining. I don't know if I'm spelling it right. You see, I'm not really a good speller. Effective outlining is the key to preparing, that's probably a better word, for the law school exam. All right, that's secret number 2. Most first year students don't really get to this part until later in the semester, when it's like crunch time and you're trying to put all your notes together, put all the details that you need together. They don't get to this outlining part until it's kind of late. But what I'm here to tell you is one of the secrets is that your outlining starts, or should start, when you're actually reading cases and you're briefing. And this is going to be the mechanism that you're going to use to start to potentially memorize and to get more information gathering that will be, let's just say, the tools that you'll need. Because there's a lot more, there's some more things that you got to add to this in order to be effective. But this is a big piece. This is a kind of like your outlines in this case, and building effective outlines in this case is like your roadmap. Your roadmap to get the information that you need. Okay, and the cases are the treasure hunt. That's probably the best word to describe it. A treasure hunt to get the information that goes into this roadmap. Okay, so we'll talk more about that as well. But that's actually secret number 2. Okay, now the last secret that I want to talk with you about, and I'm going to do something. I'm going to go more in depth on these with more content. But secret number 3 Just refer back to my notes here. Secret number 3. All right. This kind of ties into secret number 2. But if you don't know secret number 2, secret 3 is not going to make much sense. All right. Secret 3 is, and let me say it first so you'll get it. Exam practice, or I should say practicing exams, is the key to learning the info gathered from the outlines. Let me repeat that. Practicing exams is the key to learning the info gathered from your outlines. Okay, let me just write that out here. Let's just say exam practice is the key to learning the info, okay, gathered from outlines. Now, maybe to some of you all, this makes sense, but I'm telling you, what most 1Ls are going to be doing is they're going to be spending 90% of their time throughout the semester just following what the professors is telling them to do, which is basically read cases, brief, come to class, to listen to the professor ask you a question, or to ask the professor a question and get a question. This is what goes on throughout the semester, throughout the year. But this is key. Exam practice is the key to learn the information gathered from the outlines. So by starting your outlines early, in conjunction to your briefing from reading your cases, this ties in to allow you to learn the information, but you really don't learn the information by just reading the information. You're going to learn the information by actually practicing the exams. Now, how do you practice the exams? Well, once you get the formula, which I'm going to share with you, once you're able to get the formula on actually how to write the exam, when you get this information from the outlines and you're able to get also know how to frame your outlines properly, all this is going to tie in to you being able to get a jump on writing your exam, get a jump on practicing exams. Practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the more you get better, the more confident, and you start to develop this very unique skill. And that is the reason, it goes back to secret number 1, that is the reason why it doesn't take excessive reading or writing, and you don't have to be a good writer in order to have major success on your first year law school exams. So that's secret number 3. Let me just erase this, okay? And I'm just going to create something here that's going to be a little bit fun, just so you kind of connect the dots. I like to do like acronyms and everything, so let's do it this way. So we're going to do, this is fun. No reading. And writing. Build outlines. Exam practice. Hopefully you got this here. Now, I said no reading and writing here, but what I meant to really say was less reading, average writing, okay? Build outlines. How does that happen? We'll go more into that. exam practice. How do you do this? We will go more into that in some future shows. So that is it for today's show. Of course, if you guys have any questions, you can always DM me. You can email me as well at support at 1lplaybook.com. I also have a ebook that is just finishing the publishing stages. It should be coming out pretty soon, so check back with the channel. Also check me out on Facebook. I think at 1L Success Secrets or 1L Playbook. Just type that in and I should pop up. And I think that's going to give you some more details, give you some more insight. But you always can hit me up, ask me some questions, and just get more insight, okay? So stay tuned for the next show, episode 3. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about in particular, but episode 3 will be coming up soon. Take care. Have a wonderful law school day.